right? The others play better at home. We've seen this. We saw this through the first 4 games of the series. In Game 5, the Cavs needed some other guys to step up. Donovan Mitchell was struggling at times in this game, right? And we saw it. And we saw it big time. From Evan Mobley's 2 late baskets to the big block. From Max Strus, who had done nothing for 4.5 games, playing great on both ends of the floor. Marcus Morris, who hadn't been playing at all. Huge minutes, big threes, tough defense. And even Tristan Thompson, who we know when Jared Allen comes back. I think Morris is probably still in the rotation, but probably Tristan won't be. But Tristan, he's not scoring, but some tough defense, some good rebounding. What do we think of what the others did last night? LeVert, not so much. But.
They gonna need Karis LeVert. Yeah. And here's the way I look at it. Look, it's great. It's the Orlando Magic, but we all believe that they should beat the Orlando Magic. To a lot of people, this series should not be as close as it is. They have not had good viewings on the road. They won the game yesterday, but for me, as a team that we talked about these guys being, we forget the Cavs are the 4 seed, right? It could have been the 2 seed going into. Into the into the playoffs.
Yep.
And you look at the way these other teams are playing. The New York Knicks are playing lights out.
Until they choked at the end of the game
last night.
They had been playing lights out.
They've been playing lights out. Milwaukee and the Pacers have been a competitive series. You see what the Heat and the Celtics are doing. So for the Cavs, they got to ratchet it up because I expected them to do this. We supposed to be having conversations about what they're doing against the Celtics because that's what's coming up. So I want to see and to do that, you need others. I think Marcus Morris is a guy who deserves more minutes. I think he should get more minutes. I think, you're going to have to find a couple other guys to do it. And I think you need Karis LeVert to step up. 12 points from Marcus Morris. Hopefully Max Strus, I believe he has 16. Hopefully he continues to play. And if he's not going to shoot the ball well, he's going to have to continue to do things. He has to play defense, rebound, do some of the small things to keep himself on the court. But to win series, somebody else has to step up. One other guy. And your top 2 guys have to be lights out. Darius Garland is back more, but I need to see him 20-plus moving forward. I need to see Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was hobbled, but he gave me the 28, right? So I need to consistently see that too. So the others going to have to step up. I think that you're going to have these guys do something, and hopefully they continue to do something, Nuggets.
Mike, let's talk about this. The Cavs played 9 guys yesterday, including Sam Merrill, who played 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. But those, even though it was only 6 minutes, there was no blowout, so it was legitimate minutes,
it was
right?
real minutes. They gave him a shot.
Let's say that Jared Allen's back for Game 6. We don't know that he will be, but if he is, we know that the 5 starters who played this past game, Mobley, Okoro, Garland, Mitchell, Strus, and Jared Allen, that's 6, and Karis LeVert 7. We know those 7 guys are going to play.
Morris is 8.
Is Morris definitely in the rotation? I think he is. Obviously, G said he's 8.
George Niang didn't get off the bench.
Niang is done.
So I have a hard time believing.
Done,
I have a hard time believing. Yeah, next series, different story.
Yeah.
But at least for this series, I have a hard time believing after what we saw from Marcus Morris last night.
Right.
You could go back to George Niang.
No, you got to play him. And then Sam Merrill's probably still the 9th guy. Probably no Tristan with Jared back.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Sam will get, he missed his 2 shots, but he'll get his 6 minutes. I know that some people want him to play more. I think
I think JB's actually handled the Marcus Morris, George Niang situation not great. I think we all could have seen the writing on the wall that he gave George a chance to make shots. When George isn't making shots, he doesn't bring the same physicality, defense, and rebounding that Marcus does. I think I would have rather seen that swap happen a game or 2 ago.
Better late than never, though.
Better late than never, yeah. With Sam, and I was telling Earl this yesterday, if he makes shots, which he has,
he'll play a little more.
He has a place on the floor.
Yeah.
If he's not making shots, Orlando is isolating him out almost every single possession. And that trade-off just isn't worth it if he's not making shots. And when Donovan, and last night Darius in the first quarter was, after that not as much, but when Donovan's not warping the defense into him to create open looks for Sam, he's just not as effective offensively. One thing on Marcus Morris, though, he was exactly what they needed last night. Now, he might have a game in Game 6, Game 7, if it goes that far in the next series, where he shoots you out of a game. This guy has irrational confidence to the max. And you kind of need that in a bench player in a playoff series because he's capable of stepping up when the lights are brightest in the biggest game of the season and providing what he did last night. When him and Evan Mobley, so Morris and Mobley, shared the court together last night. They played 17 minutes together. Morris played about 26 minutes. 17 of those minutes came with Evan Mobley on the court. They had a 129 offensive rating in those 17 minutes, which is extremely high. Yeah, that would have been higher than any team's offensive rating this season. Now, a small sample size, 17 minutes.
Right.
But it goes back to the bigger picture question. Because Marcus Morris does provide spacing. He's a big, but he does provide
which Mobley spacing, and Allen does not.
Which Mobley and Allen don't together. Yeah. Is this team better suited off one big and 4 shooters? And that means either Mobley or Allen isn't on the court. And I'm not saying they're going to go to it in Game 6. I'm just saying big picture-wise. Yeah. And once again, one game, 17 minutes. That's a very small sample size to base any big conclusions off of. Right. But we saw the Cavs attempt more threes last night. They had their best offensive performance of the entire series last night. Maybe their best offensive performance in 2 playoffs now, going back to the last year's series.
No, I don't think maybe.
Well, they did score 107 in Game 2 last year, but I don't particularly remember the details of that game.
But
Mike, the bigger picture question is, when you have that 4 who can shoot, are the Cavs best suited offensively?
It's tricky because Jared Allen's been arguably their best player in this series. So.
You know what's so...
And it's real quick. Sorry, G.
Go ahead.
It's not an indictment on Jared Allen whatsoever.
No, not at all.
I just want to make sure
and he may not even be able to play, and then it doesn't matter.
I'm just asking the big picture. It's not an indictment on Allen.
Go ahead, G.
It just seems like... I used to say this about who was the kid that left-handed who went crazy with LeBron's mom?
Delonte West.
Delonte West used to do this.
Crazy with LeBron's mom.
That was wild.
How is he still living, honestly?
Hey, well, he's having some mental
tough. Yeah, he's gone through some mental stuff. He's not in a good place.
But, Delonte West was a guy, when you used to play, you could give Delonte West 40 minutes and he would have 14 points, 5, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Or you could play him 20 minutes and he's going to have 14 points, couple rebounds, same numbers.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you started him or not. And for me, when I look at Evan Mobley's numbers, Mobley's and Allen's numbers seem to be about what they is, generally speaking, regardless. They're going to give you 14.
He's pretty consistent.
14, 8, 9. So, if you can stagger them where one of them is on the court and one of them is off the court, I don't think their production will go down very much.
Yeah. And let's face it, you could play them both, you can play them some together, a few minutes here and there.
Right. They do. JB
and still get them close to, you could play Jared for 26 minutes and Mobley for 27, and in theory, that's only 9 minutes together on the court out of 48.
They do a better job staggering the 2 bigs minutes than I think.
Actually, 5 minutes together.
JB does a better job staggering than I think when you look at in a snapshot it actually looks. And last night, they played 17 minutes together. Evan Mobley played 40 minutes, which means 23 of his minutes came without Marcus Morris on the court. So it's just a big picture philosophy more than an actual pairing.
Yeah. And then in the next, once again, we talk about Orlando, but I'm looking towards next series. Kristaps Porzingis, he got a calf injury.
The Celtics are a whole new challenge. Different story, but
But he has a calf injury. So now that changes the way you look at it. It's like, okay, can you? My thing is he going to start? He's going to play Strus because I don't think he's willing to play Isaac Okoro because they don't know what he's going to get.
You need the shooting.
You need the shooting. Yeah. So my thing is it going to come down to Okoro or Morris?
Well, but Boston can score, and you need to. But let's not get into that now. Let's leave it there. Final word on this. Final word on this. The Cavs. How does this series end, Mike?
Cavs in 7.
G. You had said Cavs in 6 yesterday, by the way.
I did. This series has been so close.
It's going to take 7.
Cavs in 7.
Yeah.
Earl.
Cavs in 6.
I got Cavs in 7 as well. Earl. By the way, about 11:35, 11:40, we're going to talk about the Guardians. What happened last night? And Kyle. I'm sorry. 12:35, 12:40. What happened with the Guardians last night and why Kyle Manzardo needs to be called up today. But we're going to switch gears and talk about the Browns, potential new stadium, and a few other Browns things. Earl, send us.